Let's get it. One of the things that I wanted to focus on in this particular video was where the sister wives were in season 4 as they talked about the idea or concept of divorce and where Cody is now. Now, clearly, his position on divorce in season 4, moving backwards to season 1 and probably before, is going to be way different than it is now. Mostly because it wasn't happening to him. If we keep in mind and we keep a little tally running, only 50% of Cody's wives had never been married before he married them. Christine and Mary. Prior to that, Janelle, Robin, they were both divorcees coming into the family. Robin, being a divorcee, actually brought children from her previous marriage into the family. So we have that background to understand kind of where Cody is coming from as he started to say this.
My dad always taught me that a woman had the right to request a divorce if her husband wasn't treating her right and being kind to her and everything.
And that in itself is kind of crazy to me because Cody comes out and says, you know, my dad always taught me that as a gentleman, you want to make sure that your lady is being treated properly. Because if not, she has the right to divorce you. And she has the right to seek another person and company from another. And that made him sound, I guess to him, made him sound very progressive. It made him sound like he was understanding women's issues and concerns. Cody is trying to appeal to his audience. He's saying to the naysayers and people who are looking at polygamy and saying that it's a patriarchal society or institution which favors men and women are being victimized by the institution. He always wants to go back and talk about how powerful the women are and how much power and authority that they have and how much as a husband he should be have deference towards them and their opinions and how their opinions can even outnumber and outrank his. Now, this is completely a different song he was singing in season 17 when the wives were actually talking about leaving. And as they were talking about going their separate ways, all of a sudden he's Mr. Patriarchy, Mr. all the men are right and the women are wrong and they need to shut up and do what I say. Women need to obey what the husband has to say and forget your personal happiness. You need to start focusing on what makes me as the husband and the leader and the patriarch happy. And you need to focus primarily on the children and keeping the family together. And more to the point, me being the family that you need to worry about. Women do have a right to leave. And rooted in that is the idea that they have the right to be happy. They have the right of self-fulfillment. They have the right of self-determination. And this is something that shouldn't have to be said. First and foremost, James' #1 rule, everybody's responsible for their own good time. So if you're going to be happy, it's not up to your husband or your wife to make you happy. You have to find happiness within yourself. And those people can add to your happiness, but they should never be the sole root or cause of your happiness. You should find happiness in yourself and they should accentuate that. Now, with that being said, as a husband, a wife, a partner, you should always be trying to improve your loved one's circumstance and situation. What do I mean by that? You don't have to try to make them happy, but their happiness should be part of your concern. Why wouldn't you want that person to be getting the most from this relationship so that they would want to continue in that relationship? It only makes sense to me. Let's take a look at Cody's current reaction to what happened and how his new feeling of how he believes marriage works and or doesn't work.
Christine found out that she would never be happy married to me. Man, just the knife in the kidneys. It was like I was being kicked to the curb. Wait a second, you can't do this to me.
There's a big arrogance part of it too that just is hilarious to me. Cody doesn't realize that when he said, you know, initially, if a woman isn't happy, then she should be allowed to leave and find a circumstance or situation in which she can thrive, even if it means she needs to go off with another and find that person. However, in Cody's mind, he never imagined that one of his wives would leave him. And more to the point, if they did leave, they would be leaving with his permission. Oh, she just kicked me to the curb. She got tired of me and she just put me out. And she just told me never to come home anymore. Okay, fine. But it had been years that Christine had struggled with this relationship. And it had been a long time that she was trying to work things out with him. And it didn't work. And so she wanted to leave. And he didn't want to let her go because how dare you leave me because I am the patriarch, which goes against what his father had taught him. Now, finally, I just wanted to give Kody an opportunity to express why things should have worked out a little differently.
In the end, I think people need to be happy. They need to find happiness in that marriage. And if it is impossible, they need to get out and find happiness in another.
And I think that that's the point. Is that where Christine is now, she has come to a position where she has decided to leave this marriage and find happiness with another. And Kody should be happy for her, but he's not going to be. And the truth of the matter is, that's sad on him, but it's whatever for Christine. She's moved on. She's finding happiness in her life. She's living her life. And she deserves to have something that she can look back on and feel fulfilled. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out.